If you're like me and you're just fed up with these crappy fragmented sleeps every night and wake up with circles and you're tired of this, let's find out what we can do to get a good night's sleep as we are in these aging years. I know our circadian rhythm changes and all that. I want a good 7 hours of sleep if I can get it. I'll even take 5 or 6 at one time, but there's got to be something that we can do to get back on a regular sleeping basis where we're not awake 2 and 3 and 4 times a night. Are you with me? Raise your hand if you are ready to get going and find out how we can rectify this situation. Hello. Well, it's Saturday morning, and guess what? Last night I had a pretty good sleep. I woke up at 12:30 to go to the bathroom. Actually, I fell asleep about 10, and normally I like to stay awake, or I think I have to stay awake until 12 so that I can sleep a little longer. However, I slept until 5 o'clock this morning without waking up from 12:30. And I was following some of the advice. I've been doing so much research over the past couple of days that it's all a connection with your brain and your body, okay? That sleep is the perception that you have of your sleep is the way it's going to be. And I thought, okay, I'm going to stop all the negative stuff and think about sleeping, having a good sleep, just like Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White was kissed by a prince in the woods, woke her up. Wouldn't that be nice? But I don't need that. Rip Van Winkle slept for 40 years. You know, sleep has been a subject for many, many years. So I said to myself, well, what did that? Why did I sleep? And one thing that I came to the conclusion of was that, number one, my knees weren't aching. And somehow I didn't have much pain at all when I fell asleep or when I woke up. And the second big thing that I think, which was me taking control of my sleep, was that when I got up to go to the bathroom at 12:30, normally I would come back and say, okay, now I'm just not going to go back to sleep, so I think I'll get out my iPad or my phone. I didn't do that. I got into bed, made sure that the lights were out. A lot of times I'll leave the light on, mainly because when Moosey wakes up, he needs the light. And I decided I would go to sleep, turned over on my side, and put the lights out, got all comfy, and I'm a side sleeper. If I fall asleep on my back, I wake myself up with a snore or a snort. Evidently, something goes down my throat and I can't sleep on my back. So I slept because in my brain, I said, you're going to sleep tonight, Nanny. So what do you think of that? Now, yes, being a realist, I know that there are all sorts of things that keep us awake. And the number 3 big things that they say, if you have heart disease, you're a diabetic, or you have cancer or chronic pain, those are the 3 biggies. Well, I am a diabetic. And that's one of the things I think that keeps me waking up, that when I wake up, I will always have a couple of big gulps of water, no matter what time of night it is, mainly because being a diabetic, I'm really thirsty. Well, then I'll be getting up in 2 or 3 hours again, going to the bathroom. So I'm going to try and not do that unless I'm really parched. Then I will have to take some water. So it's such an interesting subject, my friends. So interesting. And I know so many that's why I'm doing this video, because I know so many of you are having the same fragmented sleeps that I do. And I finally decided I'm really going to make an effort to try and do something about it. And so here we are. Now, what I have learned about sleep is that you sleep in 4 cycles. There are 3 light sleep cycles that you go through before you get to the REM. Rapid eye movement is what REM means. And REM is your best sleep because it's a deep sleep. Now you need 90 minutes of sleep before you get to the REM cycle. Sometimes I don't even sleep that long. So am I not getting enough REM sleep? And the REM sleep is what restores and repairs your body. That's why you sleep, not because you're tired, but because your body needs the repair and restoration during the night. And it has to be a fairly good sleep. Now, during a night cycle, they say you usually go through 4 of these total cycles. So you should be getting REM 4 times during the night. Who knows whether I'm getting it or not? But here's the big thing, glow stick. I have learned that if you wake up in the morning, whether it's at 5 or 7 or 9, and you feel fully rested, then guess what? You have gotten enough sleep for you. And if you can get through that day without being tired and being able to do all the things that you have to do, then you have gotten enough sleep. And the other thing I've learned is that a 20 or 30-minute nap in the daytime is good, but no big long 2-hour naps. The other thing that is important, but we all know them, so it's not even worth talking about. The things that affect a good sleep are exercise. You've got to get some good exercise in the daytime, and that can be just walking. 30 minutes a day is what they say. Now, maybe for older people, you don't need that much, but you've got to move your body. Your diet is very important. And by the way, you're not supposed to eat for a couple of hours before you plan to fall asleep. So that's important. And we have to drink enough water and all those other things. The big thing is stress and anxiety will affect your sleep. So you have to rid your mind of that. Now, how easy is that? How many of us get into bed at night and start thinking, do we start thinking about the good, pleasurable things first? We start worrying or thinking about what we have to do tomorrow or something that happened during the week or the week before that's bothering you. It's human nature. So, what are the practical things that I have learned other than the fact that you have to take control of your sleep? It has to be a positive, intentional mindset. And you've got to get rid of the stress, eat and exercise, all those things. But there are a couple of things that I've learned that are really practical little things. Maybe you'll think they're funny, but I'm going to tell you. By the way, I'm trying to multitask here. And I want to let you know that I have been using the e.l.f. Glam, what's it called? I've been using the e.l.f. Soft Glam. And this makeup is nice. It's what they call buildable. Now, I didn't want to put, I suppose if I was going somewhere, I would put 2 coats of it on, mainly to hide my dark spots on my cheek or whatever. But for the day today, I've already been out. I went out at 8 o'clock this morning and did some food shopping and stopped and got my Dell iced coffee. Lucy and I had our iced coffee outside this morning. I was up, woke up at 5 o'clock. I think I told you that. And by 7, I was out clipping roses and deadheading and watering the garden. It's been so hot that our poor garden is suffering. And Brendan has been helping to clear weeds and things out there too. Moosey asked me this morning if I would feed the birds. Haven't fed them yet because I had to bring all the food in and put it away, but that job's done for the day. The only thing I still want to do is to go down to Lowe's or Walmart and get a couple of more tomato plants. I'm eating tomatoes almost every day. And by the way, I found out that they're good for me. Who knew? Maybe they're helping me sleep a little better too now. Most of my tomato plants, we've had tomatoes now for more than a month, and they're starting to get wilty, and I only have about 7 tomatoes left on there growing. So I've ripped out 2 or 3 of them, and I want to plant some more for the rest of the summer. So we still have a long way to go. But anyway, I thought I'd just do the makeup at the same time and get it done. Now, as you know, and I have gotten some compliments about my eyes. Have you noticed I'm not getting too much of the old mascara all over, blurred all over my face and under here? I must say that when I put regular mascara on, and the other day I did want a heavier look on my eyelashes, and I used this one, and I have many others, and it does go on much heavier, much more clumpy, but sometimes I like that big heavy look. And it's when you go to take it off, you really see how much mascara is on your eyes. On the other hand, with my Milani tubing mascara, I don't think I'm getting the same amount on my eyes, but even when I go to take it off, it doesn't seem that I'm getting that much off. I think it looks okay. It's not a real dramatic look on my eyes, but I'm going to go with it for a while, at least for the rest of the summer. So I'll finish up all of this, and because I still have to go out and get my tomato plants, but the hotter it gets, the less inclination I have of going out. Now, I did put on my LA Dodgers shirt. I think I've shown you that. I have on my navy blue pants. And I tell you, I got more looks from men in the market this morning. Whether they think a lady's not supposed to run around in Dodger shirts or what, I don't know. I don't know whether they were admiring me or not, or thinking I had, who does she think she is running around in an LA Dodger shirt? But anyway, I'm supporting Moose in all this. I'm a fan, but not like he is. So what did I learn from my research on no sleep or bad, crappy sleeps? Well, I came up with 2 very unusual, different ideas, and I'm going to tell them to you now. One man, I can't remember whether he was one of the doctors or not, said that one little snack about half an hour before you want to fall asleep is to mush up a banana. And then, so I'm gathering it should be maybe on the soft side. Mush up 1 banana in a little dish, and then take 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of cumin and sprinkle it on top of your little banana mixture. Kind of mush it up a little. He said it was delicious. I can't imagine that, but try and have that. And that is supposed to do something not only for your gut, but evidently for your brain. And by the way, that, according to most people, is what sleeping is all about. You take control of your sleep, and you have a positive perception of how you're going to sleep. Granted that you do all the sensible things, like no caffeine and no alcohol before you go to bed, and a nice dark night, and good mattress, and exercise, and diet, and all those things that we know about already. Now, the other thing that I heard was that when I pick up my iPad at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, and I can't go to sleep, or at least I think I can't go to sleep, I will open up the iPad and read that and go over, maybe do some editing or read other people's things, or I get a lot of my news from my iPad also. That also includes the phone and probably a Kindle too. So they say that that's a no-no, that the blue light effect from all electronic devices is a no-no for sleeping. So there is a remedy for that, and my glasses off. And they say that if you use a certain kind of glasses, that will cut the blue light effect, and you can go ahead and do a little bit of electronic reading in the night. However, I don't think I could read with these on. So there you go. Now, the other interesting thing was this. One man who is not a doctor, but who absolutely was fed up with not sleeping well. He's a dad, he's married, and I think he had 3 kids, a youngish fellow. He's not aging like you or I, which obviously, by the way, and I must mention it, that as you age, there's so many hormonal changes in our bodies, biological, physical, cognitive, and these are all going to contribute to your sleeping on the negative side. So you have to turn everything into a positive. And remember, the thing that I took away from this is that if I wake up in the morning, whether it's at 5 or 7 or 9, and I feel rested, that means, and that I can get through my day and be a caretaker for Moosey and do the shopping and getting out and gardening and bird feeding and all the things that I do, the cooking. Then, and also my rock painting, then I've slept well. So I don't know. I can't figure it out, really. But I did read a YouTube of someone who said he was sick and tired of it, and he had made up his mind that he was going to take control. Obviously, he had read a lot about sleep. So he set up a chart, and he put it on his mirror at night, and he gave himself all these parameters that he had to do before he went to sleep at night, and the things he had to do in the daytime in order to promote a good sleep. And he stuck to it to the point where I couldn't do it. Nothing interfered with these, all these goals. There had to be about 10 of them. And number 1 was he set his sleep time from 8:30. He was going to bed no matter what. Now, if it was in the middle of a program or one of the kids needed help with his homework, nuts to that. He was going up the stairs he went. Now, his bedroom had to be completely dark. He had to have the right covering sheet, the right pillow. And by the way, I don't even think he slept in the same room with his wife, because that might have interference from her. Now, he was going for perfect sleep. He also had his last meal, listen to this, at 11 a.m. Now, he woke up every morning at 5, and he was able to work and get through his day. I don't think he took any naps. He had other things involved in there, but he was very strict with it. And every day he checked off whether he met each goal. He said he wouldn't let anything interfere with the sleep time or whatever. He didn't drink alcohol or caffeine. I think he gave all that up anyway for good. But it was kind of interesting. He announced that he had at that point 8 months of every single night a perfect sleep. Now, I don't think I'm that dedicated to sleeping because there's other things in my life. As long as I can get enough sleep to feel rested in the daytime and to give me enough energy to do what I have to do, which means I must have gotten some of that REM sleep because that's what would restore my body. Now, this morning when Moosey and I were having our a little iced coffee outside when I came home from the shopping, I told him, I said, for the last couple of days, since I've been concentrating on having a good sleep, my knees are feeling better. I don't have that much pain. And I've also been walking more, intentional walking, not just walking around the store or walking around from the kitchen to the bedroom and around doing gardening, whatever. Intentional walking is where your mind is set on walking the right way, the right posture, lifting my legs up to be able to exercise those knees. I think it also has to do with the collagen. Honestly, I do. And I'm trying to get my vitamin D. It's so hot that I don't wear sunscreen because I don't go out in the sun. If I do, I'm under an umbrella or I have a hat. I'm not out there that long. However, you're supposed to expose as much skin as you can for 15 minutes between 10 and 3. So maybe by 10 in the morning, I can get that in. So I'm trying to do everything right. It's all in your mind, ladies. try the banana thing and let me know, anyone who does it. How was it? Because I don't think at this point I need it. Oh, the other thing was, if there were barking dogs in his neighborhood, he had to go next door and tell the neighbor that he goes to sleep at 8:30, and she agreed to make sure her doggie was in by 8:30 at night. So he had some help. Now, thank God that the coyotes marching across our roof at night, they seem to have flown the coop, and we're not having that anymore, because those thumps woke us up every night, 2 and 3 times a night. And we don't have any real barking dogs, once in a blue moon, but I don't really hear them. And there's nothing else up in these quiet hills that would keep us awake. So there you have it. I've just told you what I've learned about sleeping. Yes, sleep does restore and repair. Yes, I have to do all those good things. But the big thing that I've come away with is that I am in control of my sleep, and that I have to rid my mind of stress, worry before I go to sleep. That's hard to do, by the way. And have a positive attitude about all this, and do some of the things that I, for instance, maybe reading for 2 or 3 hours on my iPad. Maybe not do that, just get back in bed after I go to the bathroom. And if, by the way, and this is important, if you don't go to sleep right away and you find yourself tossing and turning, it's half an hour, get up. Get up and do something. Now, that's kind of hard to do when Moosey's sleeping and we live in this tiny little cottage. I remember last year, in one of those waking moments at 3, I got up and started mopping the floor in the kitchen. These were some things I had to do the next day. We had company coming. Some of the kids were coming over. And I was worrying about what I had to do the next day, I'm sure, so I wasn't in control of my sleep. So I got up and started mopping the floor and doing other things as if it was the middle of the day. So I don't want to do that anymore. I am going to try and balance my simple life of the daytime, of enjoying the day and enjoying my sleep at night. Tell me if you can do this, and if you have some other ideas that might help all the rest of us, please share them. I have something to say. I know it doesn't look it with my little piggy tails here, but I have a feeling that not only is my arthritis feeling a little better, my knees seem to be feeling better. I haven't had any hip flare-ups, and I've been kind of full of energy. You know, I've been taking collagen for well over a year now on a daily basis, 2 scoops in the morning in my coffee. And I have 1 cup of coffee a day. Actually, it's half a cup, really, a little more than half a cup. But you know how I've shown you my pink scalp at times when after I wash my hair, when it's still wet. I tried to find that one spot in the back that I had, and I have a feeling that's filled in a little bit. Well, it hasn't gotten down to this level yet, but I think people say, does collagen really work? And the answer that I always see is, yes, it does, because it works. So I want to thank you so much for enjoying all our videos, and thank you all so much for all your lovely happy anniversary wishes. I wanted to say so much to each and every one of you, but it wasn't possible. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your happy anniversary wishes. And happy anniversary to all of those who also had anniversaries within the past month or going to have an anniversary soon. So, okay, ladies, did you raise your hand when I said hands up for all those who have had a crummy sleep lately? That was me. So I think maybe I'll put my hand down for a while, and I'll let you know how my positive thinking and taking control of my sleep is doing. So think about subscribing. Those of you who haven't subscribed yet but watch us all the time, it would be fun to have you join our family. I appreciate all your support, and so does Moosey. I love you. We'll see you soon, and God bless us all.